Yo, I feel like it's been like 40 weeks since we got a chapter, right? I know I say this all the time, but every time that there's like a break before another chapter, like it feels so long, bro. It's ridiculous, right? It's ridiculous. Like, Oda, I need the gas. I need the gas in my veins. Like, please. I need that One Piece heroin, you feel me? No, I'm just kidding. But today we are back with another One Piece chapter review, this time for 1032. And the title of this is Oden's Beloved Sword. And I ain't gonna lie, this is probably an agenda chapter. And I know y'all are probably not familiar with the stuff that happens on Twitter, but whew, boy, the stuff that happens on Twitter is ridiculous. If you don't have a Twitter, please make a Twitter and follow me on Twitter, bro. So y'all can see the shenanigans that happens. My Twitter is going to be in the pinned comment. Also, if you haven't read this chapter yet, in my pinned comment is the Discord link. Make sure you join my Discord and go to the announcements tab. There will be a link to the chapter for you to read. We do a bunch of other cool stuff in the Discord, so be active, be active. Make sure that you go read it and follow along with the video. Also, if you like my reviews and my style of content, my feng shui, as I will put it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you want more One Piece content. Also hit the bell, you feel me? Turn the bell on, you know? But anyways, let's get straight into it. So this time in the cover, yo, we have cats. And y'all know that I love cats, bro. Like, y'all know Nekomamushi is my favorite. Y'all can tell from my intros, bro. Like, that's my guy. And cats, I love them. I love them. But we got Yamato and two black cats. And it looks like they're delivering things to an old woman on a hill. And I'm going to be honest, this is a wholesome cover. Like, it is what it is. There's supposedly a Yamato transport company, so I'm assuming this is a play on words, you feel me? Shout out to Oda. I see you, Oda. I see you using your brain and all that. But we start off with Marco. He's in his Phoenix form. Him and Izo having a conversation. Now, Yamato and Izo are having this conversation about this yokai, this thing that Kanjuro has made, right? We see a bunch of subordinates running around. And I'm gonna be honest, this kind of makes sense because Kanjuro created like this flame thing, right? This big nasty monster that's supposed to like burn everything to the ground. That's what Orochi was saying. But if you remember some chapters back, you remember when Big Mom and Marco kind of clashed for a second and she used the Prometheus attack? And then he used his flames and he had special flame properties. You remember that, right? And Prometheus was like, Mama, like, what's going on? Like, why is he hurting me? It shouldn't work. It's fire. And he was explaining that his flames are special. I'm thinking that Marco is probably going to be the one to put the flames out. That would make most sense to me. Like, if he can use his flames to kind of reverse, like, I know it sounds crazy, y'all, but hear me out. You know how like there's like spiritual realms and stuff, like, you know how the Phoenix flames are supposed to like heal? So what if it works kind of like that in the sense of if it's evil fire? I know that you're like saying fire is inanimate. How can it be evil? I understand. I get it. Trust me. But I'm just saying, like, maybe the fire has some sort of evil, like, to it, or a bad aura, and maybe his special flame properties can kind of mitigate that. Maybe that's why it worked on, you know, Prometheus, since, again, he is a soul, a homie. You know, part of Big Mom is in Prometheus, you know, that's why he has his consciousness and things like that. And maybe since it worked on Prometheus, it could work on this yokai too, because this yokai is clearly evil. Let's be honest. I'm not 100% sure, but I would think that's what's going to happen. I think Marco's probably going to put it out like that, and I'm cool with that. So after this, we get into Appu, Drake, Fuga, Yamato stuff. And man. So, all right, first off, let's talk about this Yamato Fuga stuff, right? So Fuga is one of these numbers. You remember we seen like these special looking numbers that were with Appu recently. I think it was last chapter or chapter before. One of those chapters, we seen the three and we said, yo, they look kind of cool. They look a little different than their other numbers. Like maybe they're a little stronger, a little different, right? So Fuga ends up running off and they're like, what's going on? Now, a lot of us, when we seen this, we were like, oh, is he chasing after Yamato? And then we started thinking that maybe it could be related to Ushimaru because this Fuga person clearly is friends with Yamato or knows of Yamato, right? I know that theory is a little crazy, but people on Twitter, and I don't know if like y'all on YouTube seen this or if on Reddit, I don't know where y'all get y'all One Piece information from, but it seemed to me that from what people were saying on Twitter that this Fuga character is perhaps like an experiment, a failed giant experiment, but they use like Ushimaru to do it. And y'all remember like when they were in the cave, Yamato, the three samurai, and it was like the last daimyos, and Ushimaru was there and they talked and had a conversation and they left the cave to go fight and they ended up seemingly dying. Some people seem to think that maybe this Fuga character is Ushimaru, and there's been a lot of people laughing at Zoro because they're like, yo, if Ushimaru is like Zoro's father, he got turned to a number, and people are like laughing about it. I don't know, because in this chapter, it seems like Fuga and Yamato were friends, like they've met before. So the theory isn't like open and closed, right? It's not like completely over with. But I think maybe this Fuga character just knows Yamato. Like we know that Fuga is a number. It's a failed giant experiment. We get that from Punk Hazard. Big Mom's explained this, but maybe Yamato had just met him and like they were friends that way. You know, Yamato's been here on this island her whole entire life. So I'm not 100% sure that it's Ushimaru, but that would still be crazy, right? Now, as Yamato and Fuga are running, like, I'll pretty much explain it like this for y'all. So you got Fuga chasing Yamato, who's being chased by Apu, who's being chased by Drake. It's crazy. It's like some Scooby-Doo stuff, but that's basically what's going on. And as they're running on the second floor, there's someone falling, two people falling from the upper floor, which is Robin and Brook. Now, Robin and Brook are being chased by CP0. They end up falling on Fuga's head. This whole scene is crazy. It's just a lot going on. This is where Yamato and Fuga have that conversation. They're talking to each other like, oh, it's been a long time since I've seen you. You know, they're kind of comrades a bit. Like, it seems like they know each other. They've had conversations before. Like, they're cool with each other. So maybe Fuga was chasing them because of that. But it could still be Ushimaru. That theory's open. Like I said, I'm not sure. So the yokai is around here too. And when the yokai is chasing La CP0 members, they end up getting lost in the flames. So it looks like Brook and Robin may be off the hook for now, but I do want to see like what's going to happen and if the leader with the scarf is going to catch up to them. I don't know if Brook and Robin are going to fight him. I'm still curious about that. Like, what's going on with the scarf guy? Yamato ends up asking Fuga for help. She's talking about how everything is going to explode. So now I'm kind of wondering, like, okay, what is Fuga about to do? Is he going to like sacrifice himself like on some like Orange Jr. stuff? Like, is he about to like cover the explosions up? Like, I don't know, bro. I'm kind of worried for my mans though. Now, I think what's interesting here is the same CP0 members that get covered up by the flames, they come out of the flames a little bit later. And I thought when I first seen them get covered up by the flames, I was like, oh, they're gone. Like, they're done. Like, I thought that they were like bums. But then a little bit later, I was thinking and I was just like, oh, that's CP0, bro. They can't be that trash, bro. That doesn't make sense. Like, they have to be okay. And lo and behold, they are. But then we get to this Apu stuff. And, bro, I'm gonna be honest, I hate talking about Apu, y'all, because Apu, like, honestly, gets under my skin. Like, I really don't like Apu, bro. I'm gonna be honest. Like, I really don't. Like, it is what it is. I just can never see myself respecting somebody like Apu. And it's just like, I know that y'all are like, yo, Sin, why you getting so caught up in, you know, the fictional characters? Like, it doesn't matter. I get that, bro, but it's One Piece. You know, we take One Piece serious on this channel, you know, like, that's why I never get upset with y'all when y'all get mad at me when I, you know, slander your characters, or I say one of your characters isn't as strong as, you know, you think he is, or vice versa, and y'all get mad and cuss at me and say all these mean things to me. I don't get mad at y'all because I understand One Piece means a lot to us. You know what I mean? So it's like, I get it. Sometimes when you're talking to your friends, talking to your peers, and y'all are talking about something serious that you love, you can get a little heated. So it's okay. I get it. You know what I mean? Same thing goes for people that like Apu and are mad at me right now because I said I don't like him. You know, it is what it is. It happens. But Apu took a picture of the CB0 members. This dude is 6'9", bro. Every time Apu gets a chance, bro, he just switches up, bro. This man never stays on one thing. Like, he never stands for anything. He never stands his own. And he never has any values or morals to me. He was about to make an alliance with Drake. That didn't work. Then he's like, oh, let me try to make an alliance with Yamato. That didn't work. Now he's taking pictures of CP0 and saying that he's going to show Big News Morgans. So this is probably how Big News Morgans is going to find out about everything that happened here. So that pretty much confirms to me there's going to be bounty increases, bro. There's going to be bounty increases. I'm pretty much like sold on that now, especially if Big News Morgans gets a hold of this. And I hate to say this, but bro, if Big News Morgans gets a hold of this situation and finds out and he wanks Luffy the way he did before, yo, Morge might be right about that 5 billion, bro. I didn't think there was any way that Luffy was getting 5 billion after Wano, but if Big News Morgans has anything to do with it, it's over. This man is going to wank Luffy. He is going to tell everyone that Luffy beat Big Mom and Kaido by himself. Like, oh man, bro. Mr. Morris might be right, bro. He might be right about something because the raid ain't failing. Hey, shout out my man, Mr. Morris. I'm just saying. So CP0 and Apu have a, you know, exchange. They're, you know, telling him he's annoying, which he is. We also find out that the CP0, the scarf guy, he knows about Drake's identity. He knows who Drake is, which could be a problem too in of itself, because we know Drake is a part of Sword, and it's like, yo, does CP0 know about Sword? If they know about Drake, they probably know about Sword, and that could be an issue. That could be a problem. They might be working on Sword and neutralizing in that already. They might have already infiltrated Sword. They might got a CP0 member in there right now for all we know. That's going to be a problem in the future, man. Remember that. Remember that they know about Sword most likely because they know about Drake. But as Drake and Apu are discussing, they like, look, man, we're going to have to fight. So now we're about to get some CP0 members versus Drake and Apu. And I'm going to be honest. I really don't want Drake and Apu to win against CP0. I think CP0 needs to win this fight. It's going to make them look so bad if Drake and Apu win. Like, bro, CP0 has been hyped up so much. If they lose to Drake and Apu, it's going to really discredit them. And I think it's also going to uplift Drake and Apu at the same time. I don't think Drake and Apu are weak, but I definitely would not say, oh, they're beating CP0 members. The CP0 is the shield of the world government. Like, their job is so important that I just would assume that they'd be like pretty strong, at least stronger than them. But I mean, hey, man, we'll see what happens. I'm kind of worried, but I'm like, I'm okay with it. So last but not least, we get to the Zoro and King stuff, which again, in of itself, fire. I love anytime we get to see King or Zoro interact, but King is getting a lot of characterization. Like, Oda is really spazzing with the character writer for King. This man, King, like, everybody got some weird stuff going on with him. Queen, cyborg, neck, and all that. You know what I mean? King got a pulley on his head, you know, like, Zoro asked him, like, what's up with that? Like, what you got? Some sort of, like, machine? Like, what's going on? And apparently, like, it goes back like the beak and then his head shoots around. So it's kind of pause. That was crazy. But y'all know what I'm saying, though. So they get to fighting, and this is a cool part. King, like, gets attacked by Zoro and he blocks it with his wings, which I thought was fire. And Zoro says, yo, is this like, you know, the ancient, you know, zones? Like, is this the power of the zones? And King is talking heavy. He says, yes, but it's also more than that. I'm more special than the others. Like, he is talking heavy, and I'm assuming he's talking about his Lunarian race, where Zoro is like kind of contemplating like what this dude's race is. And Zoro's trying to figure out like what's going on with him so he can figure out how to like pretty much counteract what's going on. At this point, though, King goes into his humanoid form and he's like, let's play with swords. I love swords. And I'm like, bro, it's all making sense now. King was saying like, look, I'm willing to do anything to win, but that doesn't mean I don't like swords. And to be fair, I know y'all are wondering about that, but Zoro never said, oh, you don't like swords. That's not what came out of his mouth. What came out of King's mouth was, I'm willing to like do more than just pure swordsmanship to win, you know? So that whole theme that's going on with Zoro and him is really cool. I'm liking it. I ain't gonna lie though, when Zoro was like, is he a fisherman or a giant? I was like, I don't know, like, Zoro, what you need to know his race for to fight him? Like, I don't know, it's looking kind of bad right now. Like, nah, I'm just playing, but y'all, if y'all know, you feel me? So in the background, we hear Hiyori at this point. She on the little guitar joint. I forgot what it's called. I really don't remember. I've seen the name before, but y'all know what I'm saying. The little thing that she plays, little instrument. So they hear this, you feel me? And Enma starts reacting and it starts sucking Zoro's hockey out and shit. Like when he grabbed it the first time, and I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like Enma is wilding out. Like it's got a mind of its own. And I am probably going to make a video about like the will of Blades, because like this is a very like, I feel like important topic to talk about, especially with what's going on right now currently. But also, forget all that, Orochi hears this too, and it's coming from the treasure room of Onigashima's castle. So Orochi gets to go in there, and I'm like, hold on now, what's about to happen? And Hiyori is there. Orochi says, if this is a dream, then don't wake me up. And that is the end of the chapter. But the best part is, it's no break next week. Now, yo, there is a lot to talk about here, bro. A lot to talk about, because it seems like now Hiyori is probably going to get an opportunity, because he has the, what is the Wado Hobot... Habakiri, Skabaskiri. Y'all know the sword, the other one, not Emma, the other one, the one that killed Orochi in mythology, right? So I'm thinking that Hiyori might get a chance to, I don't know, end this dude's life. Like, I'm tired of this guy, bro. Like, sheesh, bro, please cut this last head off. You know, get him out of here. I'm tired of him. But anyways, it seems like Zoro, Enma's freaking out, bro. I don't think Zoro's going to go there, but like Enma sucking his hockey out, that's got to be something. So it's a lot going on right now. This chapter was crazy though. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, but I want to know what all of you think. So make sure you comment down below. Again, if you need the link to the chapter in my pinned comment, join my Discord for the chapter link. And as always, I hope you all are staying safe and healthy during these trying times. This has been Synsei Inc., and I will see you all in the next video.